All right, Martin. Well, so take it away. Thank you so much for
All
being
right,
here today. We appreciate
no
your
problem.
support.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do so. Yeah, Martin Guerrero here from Square. I'm currently based out of Scottsdale, Arizona, where we have an office. I work for a community affairs small business advocacy team. So a lot of my job is making friends with folks like the Main Street Center and other organizations around the country, all in support of small businesses. My main focus is small business education. So, I started on the team here in March of 2020. So my work has been, teaching folks how to get online. That was the team I was on prior to that was our e-commerce team. So really helping folks, with their restaurants shut down, their, physical brick and mortars, no people allowed, right? Needed to pivot to online, and they still do. So that's a lot of what we've been doing, and that's what this workshop is for. So this is so just in this one here, we're going to be setting up a Square Online website from step one all the way through all the backend settings, importing our items, designing the website, even placing an order, and where you would go to manage those orders. And then on top of that, we're doing all this on our free plan. And the reason we do that, it is meant to be a self onboarding platform. So it's all do it yourself, but we get it. Businesses they're busy, right? It's already hard enough running a business. Now you got to be a web designer and an e-commerce specialist. So it is meant to be easy, but we get it's not the very first time you get in there. It's a new software to you. You don't understand it. So I like to do this workshop specifically because I go through and just show them everything that's in there. That way it's like, okay, cool. I saw it. It's not new to me anymore. It's not scary. Martin clicked all the buttons, showed me everything that was there. I can do it myself. So that's when we tend to see versus just saying, hey, here, go do it yourself. It's easy, right? Let's walk through it one time, then you can go do it and make it so much easier. So to contextualize it, we walk through all these steps as though I'm a real, merchant setting up a site on Square Online for the very first time. In order to boost my sales, I want to offer online ordering, right, with the option for curbside pickup for locals and shipping for anyone nationwide. So this is Mike's Bikes. So I'm a local bike seller. So that's going to be mostly in-person type stuff. So I have a brick and mortar, but I want folks to be able to, like I said, order online. Anybody local, just order online, and then curbside pickup. We just put it in the vehicle, or if I have fans, in other states, I can ship it to them. So to get it started, right, we just log into Square Online and log into our Square account. And one of the best features here, and the reason why we talk about this is because most folks know Square, right? In-person payments, the point of sale system, all of that for more for brick and mortar. The Square Online system, completely works in conjunction with that. So we take all of your items that you're already selling in person, switch them over to the online platform, and it syncs, right? So if you're selling in person still and you're selling online, your inventory decrements, all your orders are in one place, all your reporting is in one place, so you can break it down. I can see what how many of my orders are coming through my website, how many are coming in person, so you can get all that reporting data all in one place. So you're not having to do double the work, right? My point of sale system is this, my website is this, they don't talk to each other. This is all in sync with each other. So to get started, we're just going to click on the online store button here on the left-hand side. Next up, we're going to be prompted to get started, which is definitely what I want to do. But first, if we scroll down a little bit, we can see some of the more information, details, features about the online store. And so I'll just go ahead and click ahead to get started. And like I mentioned, we're doing this all in our free plan. So in 2018, Square purchased a company called Weebly.com. That's where I was since 2015. They purchased Weebly.com to be their online solution, right? Up until then, it was primarily in person, things like e-gift cards, invoices they had, and they partnered with multiple different companies to, for e-commerce solutions where you could add Square as the payment processor, but Square didn't have their own in-house solution. So they purchased Weebly in 2018. They built a new Square Online store that launched in late 2019. That's fairly new, right? 2019 is not that long ago, although 2020 seemed like for forever. So it's a fairly new system out there compared to all of the website builders that are out there, right? We just came out in 2019, and so we're always adding features to it all the time. Like I mentioned, we have this completely free version. That's what we had to do to to differentiate ourselves, right? So with the version we're doing today and all the things we're able to do, normally you're going to pay about $30 a month for most of our competitors to do that. So with the free online version, you're just paying, you know, the per transaction fee like you would with cards in person. So to get you on track, right, we're going to ask some questions along the way. What kind of goods I'm going to sell? I've selected, you know, physical items because that's all I sell. This will work for physical retailers. It'll work for restaurants. It'll work for service-based industries as well. Or you can just do a website just to have a website with no selling, you know, options on there and just make it an info type of site. It can be very customizable. So we'll select that. And then next up, I'm going to select how I want to fulfill my orders, right? Same as before. These selections can be adjusted later on if need be. So I'm picking right now shipping items and allow pickup. You can see there for restaurants, you can do, you know, delivery or self-serve ordering, which is like QR code ordering for tables. So if you're a restaurant with like patio dining, right, you can print out the QR codes, put them on the tables. Folks can order right from their phone and it goes right into your kitchen. So very, very versatile. Here, I'm going to be asked whether I want to choose a single shopping page, right? Great for getting set up quickly, or maybe you just have a couple small amount of items, or if I want to do a full, you know, multi-page site with some pages already kind of pre-built. A really favorite way lately is to get set up is our Instagram page, right? You connect your Instagram account, and it displays all of your posts on the website, and then you can tag those products so the folks can purchase it right from your website. And then we'll go into Instagram as well, and you can actually connect it in the Instagram account and Instagram app as well, and so you can do Instagram shopping through there, and that also connects to Facebook Shop as well, and that's all, again, all under the free plan. So I'm going to set up a single ordering page here because I want to get up and running, you know, as soon as possible. And then just side note here, if I pick one of these, I can like the single page, I can always add more pages, and I can add, you know, vice versa, I can delete pages, anything like that. Very customizable. I'll click and continue. All right, so after making those choices, it'll load the beginnings of my store. Here's where we're syncing over all of your item library, your location information, all of that to bring it into the online dashboard, which is where all things online store related are. And so you can see everything we need is on the left-hand side here. You also see that setup guide is kind of popped up on the right. Again, we want to help make it as easy as possible for you to get online as quickly as possible. So we have these quick snippets here, you know, make sure you're doing this, this, and this. We'll have a guide that kind of walks you through, have you done this, have you done that, to make sure you're up and running as best as possible. And then we have a real small group here. So if you ever have questions along the way here, feel free to stop me at any point. All right, so after that yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering, so for folks who have a website, is there a way to integrate within this?
Yes.
Or this, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we get that a lot. So we have folks like a restaurant, for example, maybe has a website up and running that's informational, like here's who we are, here's where we're located, maybe a PDF menu on their website, but no way to order online, right? They don't want to rebuild that whole site. So they'll go through the Square Online site and just do the ordering page itself and then just connect it. So absolutely, right? You don't have to do the other pages. You can just do the ordering page, which is very, very common. All right. So after the initial onboarding, we can go right into editing the website, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to just make sure all of our backend settings are in place before we go live, and just, again, kind of give you a tour of what all is in there, so you're just familiar with that. All right, so we're going to start here on the bottom left-hand side there under our settings. And the first drop down here is general, where you can adjust information like your store address, email, phone number. That all syncs over from your Square account, so you don't usually have to do anything here, but if you needed to adjust it, you can do that. Next is our checkout settings. I want to make sure I have accept online orders turned on, right? If I ever needed to stop taking orders for any reason, I could toggle that off here. My website would still be published, but the orders would not be able to be completed. By default, we have Apple Pay and Google Pay turned on, so folks can easily order from their phones, right? We're seeing, I mean, man, way over 50% of order. I mean, it's really over 75% of our orders on Square Online websites are coming from a mobile device. So it's really helpful to have those. No additional cost to enable that. It's all integrated in there. And then at the bottom, we'll see some more advanced settings for the checkout experience here. Making sure my currency is already set by my overall account. Different ways to add things to the cart. Again, this would just be up to the individual buyers, like or sellers, how they want to customize kind of the look and feel of the checkout flow. Being that the majority of my orders are going to be local pickup, I've set that as the default option my buyers are going to see during checkout. They also see shipping, but they would want to, they would need to click over to switch on to that. All right, next up, sales tax section here. Again, you're going to see in pretty similar situation. We have these onboarding modules here to get you going as quickly as easily. So we're just going to click, get started. It'll ask you some questions about the configuration of your store, how you want to do that, and just select the best choices for your business. All right, so then my tax rates are set, and then I can go in and I can customize them even more. If I want to charge tax on shipping or include the tax in the overall price, in different ways you can customize that. I'm not a tax professional, so I couldn't give you tax advice. So you always definitely want to check in with a tax professional to make sure you're charging what you need to be charging. Now we are connected to the federal tax database, so automatically it will charge taxes where you need to charge taxes, right? So especially in the online world, and that's usually going to be where you have a what they call a nexus or a physical location. So being that Square started in California, in San Francisco, right? And then they've opened offices in other states. Anytime someone from those states makes a purchase on Square, we have to charge them tax because they have a physical location there. All right, under notifications, you can control where new email orders go. You can decide to turn them off, like a restaurant, right? That's getting orders all day long. Maybe in every couple of minutes, that email box can get pretty full, so you could turn those off. There's other ways you can manage them, but for retailers, sometimes they want to have that email. So you can turn it on or off, make it go to a different email if you want. Under tracking tools, here's where you're going to easily connect like Google Analytics, Facebook, Pinterest, get your site verified by the various search engines here, right? Really quickly and easily, really to get that set up. Gives you a ton. Google Analytics, especially, being that it's free, will give you tons of data about what's going on in your website. All right, so the next sections that we're going to go through are going to be also very necessary if I want to be fully set up to take orders, right? I definitely want to charge for shipping as bikes are very heavy, and I don't want to eat all of that cost up. So clicking in now on the left-hand side under the fulfillment tab and clicking on the shipping section. Again, onboarding flow to make it easy for you. We're just going to click setup to get started. And here I can set up different regions. So those different regions could be the US, Canada, Mexico, or other countries, right? You can have rates for those different regions. So I'm just going to click add shipping rate to get going. All right, and we have a couple of different ways you can charge for shipping. Here I can also edit the region, and I can remove any states I don't want to ship to. Maybe, being that I'm in Arizona, I don't want to ship bikes to New York because I know that's going to be super, super expensive and most likely won't get any sales from there, or Alaska or Hawaii, right? I can go in and click edit the region and remove any states I don't want to ship to. Maybe I only want to ship to the Southwest, or just the West Coast. All right, so I'm going to add here a rate based on the order total for shipping to the US. So I'm only doing the US, so this would be based on the order total, the dollar amount. You can also do it by weight, by item total, but for me in my business, it makes more sense to do it by order total. We do have some upgraded plans, and that's where you see the upgrade here for real-time shipping rates. That's where you would directly connect your UPS or USPS account, and it would charge, it would calculate the rates in the cart for you automatically. And that would be based off of weight, distance, and box size. All right, so I'm going to set up my rates here. I've set up, you can see I have some small items, not just, all big bikes. So I've got a $5 rate here. That's for orders from, $0 up to $100. Now, none of my bikes cost $100 or $100 or less. So that's never going to apply to any of my bikes. That would be to my accessories like, tires, tire tubes, you know, accessories for the bikes. The other two rates are going to apply to my bikes here. So I've got, you know, a $50 rate for anything over $101 to $800. That's usually going to be one bike, and then $100 for 801 to 2000. And then you can see I have a fallback rate here of $225. So that would be if someone had something in the cart that was over $2,000, it would apply that rate for that. You can customize this as much as you want. You can add as many as you want. That shipping matrix can get pretty complex as you want it to be. All right, clicking done. All right, so my rates are here, and my shipping matrix is there. I can add more rates. I can do a free shipping promo if I wanted to for, you know, anything over a certain dollar amount. I could do that, or a specific item, free shipping on a specific item. I could go in there and do, you know, that kind of stuff as well. So click and save. All right, so we can keep adding regions like I mentioned. You can do other countries. I'm just, you know, I'm only shipping to the US. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, now we're gonna set up in-store and curbside pickup, which has seen, you know, tremendous growth over the last year and a half. I mean, in March, you know, when COVID hit, curbside pickup wasn't even on our roadmap for Square Online. It was not anything that was really even kind of thought of or considered. But once the lockdowns went into place, you know, we heard a large, you know, response that folks were looking for something like that, right? Really that contactless flow. So we incorporated curbside pickup to be able to do that. All right, so in the same fulfillment section where we just did our shipping, we've got pickup and delivery. I'm able to see my locations and toggle them on or off for delivery and pickup. Now, so if you have multiple locations, so if I'm a chain, you know, or I'm just a business with multiple locations, I only need the one website. I don't have to do a website for each location. This will handle multiple locations, and those can have different, you know, different settings. And I'll show you an example of that for my food example that has a couple different locations. So, you know, one could offer pickup, the other one could offer delivery, or they could both, right? You could mix and match as much as you want there. So just going to start setup here. All right, so I'm enabling pickup, and since I have a phone number associated, I'm allowing curbside pickup as well. I'm going to click continue. And then I can set my pickup hours here. So, and these could be completely separate from my business hours. So if I'm open, you know, 9 to 5, but I want folks to pick up their orders between 10 and 3, that's where I would set these orders, these hours up. It's not going to affect your business hours. This would just be if, you know, if I go to your website and I buy a bike at 9 a.m. And my pickup times are from between 10 and 3, the earliest it will let them pick up is at 10 o'clock. Right, that gives me time to get it all set up. I can also add restricted dates here for like holidays or anything that I'm closed for. And then if I was offering delivery, I could offer separate hours for those as well. So they can, again, you can customize it really as much as you need to there. All right, so initial setup done on pickup there, and then over to the right, if we click edit the location, we can kind of see a high level overview of all the current settings. And then I can click in to adjust those. I'm going to click on order timing settings. So order timing refers to like specifically prep times, and this is oh, this is really gonna take you know, for kitchens, right? So for restaurants, so that prep time, how long it takes you to prepare an order. And in my case, in retail, right, I have it set to 1 hour. That gives me enough time to, you know, if I have folks in the shop to go into the warehouse, get the bike out, you know, bring it out front so it can be ready for pickup. For kitchens, right, that could be, you know, a lot shorter amount of time, but that gives you time to prepare those orders for folks to then come and pick them up. So being that my prep time is 1 hour, right? If I order a bike at noon, it's going to say in my order, my pickup hours are 10 to 3. If I place an order at noon, it's going to say you can come pick up your bike at 1 p.m. Right? And so that gives me the time to pick it up. Kind of same thing. Plug comes into play with your orders if you're doing like a restaurant. You can also allow folks to schedule pickups, all right, or limit the amount of orders that can be made every 15 minutes. That's great for a restaurant to keep kind of the kitchen from getting overwhelmed, because they may be, you know, they're still maybe taking orders in person. So that really kind of helps balance out that flow. Okay, I'm going to click save here. Next, I'm going to click into my pickup settings, and since I'm allowing curbside pickup, I'm leaving a little instruction here for them to see on the site for how that'll work, right? Pull into this specific spot, let us know you're here. I can also set up a minimum dollar amount for in-store pickup, but I don't really need to do that. I mean, that would be the same as them just coming into my business and placing an order. All right, and with that, our pickup settings are all ready to go. I can adjust these in the future, right? At the top right of the page, I can click on advanced settings here, and these apply to all my locations. Here I can, limit large orders. So again, this is great for like a kitchen. Like in the example I'll put in the thread here is my burger shop. I don't want someone ordering 20 burgers at once and really kind of throwing off my kitchen flow and that kind of messing up with my order timing. So I can put it, if I put a limit there, I can let them know, hey, looks like you're placing a big order. Give us a call so we can give you a better time for that. Again, I can kind of change things around here. You can also turn on tipping. You can also allow tipping online. A lot of things you can customize. All right, so that's a lot of the back end settings, right? The stuff that you need to have set up to be up and running. Most of that stuff is set it and forget it type stuff, so you're not really messing with it all that much afterwards. Maybe the prep time you might have to mess with a little bit just to kind of figure out your flow. But again, once you set that up, it's pretty much all kind of just done. Especially with like the taxes and shipping, you don't really have to do anything else there. All right, so next is going to be our items, right? What we want to sell online. So clicking on the left-hand side again to the item library here. Again, earlier we were syncing over all of our items. So it's brought everything over here. And here's where we're going to select what we want to sell online. So you're, a clothing boutique and you've got a ton of items, right? You've got shirts, pants, dresses, shorts, right? Socks, shoes, jewelry, accessories, right? You've got maybe 1,000 items that you sell in your store. First time getting online, maybe you don't want to, sell all 1,000 items immediately off the bat. Maybe you want to select your top 100 items, or maybe even just your top 25 best-selling items. That's where you would go through this flow here to select those. You don't have to sell every single item that you have in your point of sale. You can be selective with the items you want to sell online. So here it's going to have all of my items. I only have 12 items in my store, so obviously I want to sell it all online, but I could uncheck some of these here to not sell them. Or if, like I said, if I had 1,000 items, I could just uncheck them all and then go in and select my top 25 or however many I want to do, right, to have them online, and then little by little add more and more items.
I have a question, Martin.
Yeah.
Most retail stores have an inventory program. Can you sync that program with this so that you don't have to submit and create all 1,000 items? I used to design websites using WordPress and Weebly actually, and I did that for a store. We just used their inventory control software and synced it.
Yeah, so like with this one here, so if you're using the Square point of sale, right, you have inventory control here. This is bringing over all of your items here. So we can see now as it's brought over, you can see it's got the stock numbers there, the inventory counts, and those will decrement when they're sold, and that's syncing with your inventory in your point of sale. If you have like a third party, so it's always syncing back and forth. So if you sell out, it'll show it sold out online, right? They can't buy anymore, and it's sold out on your point of sale as well. So it's always
it keeps it updated, and then if the price increases, you don't have to go and manually do it.
Yeah, you do it in one place and it goes back and forth. So if I go in here and I in the online store dashboard and I update the inventory count, that shows up on my point of sale. Same thing with the price, all of that, like I said, it's going back and forth. Good question.
For businesses that don't have a robust inventory kind of collection tool, how would they do? Would they just need to go in and take pictures and then upload the pictures and do it that way?
The pictures for their items? Yeah, so on the point of sale, you don't really need photos. I mean, you don't see a lot of photos on the point of sale because that's facing the cashier, right? But the website, you definitely need photos. So yeah, you would want to go in there and add them. Now, on my point of sale, I do have one photo. So it brought that over. It syncs over the photo as well. And if we click into one of our items here specifically, we can then see, like, we can go in here and we can actually add more images here. So we have the one image for the bike there. We can add more. We can even add GIFs in there. But yeah, they're definitely going to want to do photos for the online portion.
Okay.
Right? Don't necessarily need it so much for the cash register, the point of sale.
Right. So that just
website,
syncs to the item itself, and it'll record that. Okay.
Yeah.
And one question: can the online store sync with a non-Square point of sale at the store level? If like a third-party inventory system, if they're not using Square as their point of sale in the store, can they create a Square online store?
If they're not, it's not going to. Maybe. The answer is maybe. Normally, no. It's built more for Square to, like I said, keep that in person and that online all synced together. We do have some third-party partners that might work with, but this is specifically Square Online. So, like if maybe you're using WordPress, right? You could use WordPress to build your website. It can sync with, I think it's WooCommerce is their e-commerce part. That can sync back to Square, and it can, that would be like a third party you could use for that. But like this is specifically for Square users to keep them all in one place, like online, offline.
Got it.
All right. So, and then, we had our settings there for pickup and delivery and all that. You can go in and adjust those by item as well. So I can, like for this specific item, it shows shipping and pickup. I could, if I didn't want to do shipping for this item, I could uncheck that. So again, you can kind of get down more granular to the item level and make updates there. All right, so next up, I want to organize my shopping page by categories, right? So I want to categorize them and not just have a page just full of items and folks having to kind of dig through them. And just clicking add category. Now, being that I already have categories set up in my Square account, it's going to be like, hey, do you want to just move those over instead of recreating them? Absolutely, right? I want to do that. There's my categories. If I didn't want them, I can uncheck some of those there and do that, but I want those. And those are set there. I can now adjust these. I can add more categories, right? I can still customize that. So our items are ready to go. Our categories are done. Now we're going to get into to building the website. So pretty much the final stage here, the public-facing part of the website. We're going to go to the website tab here, go to the site settings. Good section to be familiar with. Right, here's where you're going to set your site address, your site title. It usually defaults to something like my site, so I changed it there to Mike's Bikes. That's, update that. You scroll down a little bit. I can reset my site to default. I can unpublish it. We have the site already kind of built in some other languages. So if you wanted to build a site in Spanish or French, it would translate all those sections that you don't have access to, right? The checkout flow and all the things that you don't touch. The text that you put on the page, you would just type that in whatever language you want to. All right, so scrolling back up and clicking edit website. So again, another onboarding flow. So because of my previous selections, the way my account is set up as a retail account, it'll have some options, pre-selected for me, sell items to ship or pick up, right? And these are different sections here. So over on the left-hand side, those are sections, and that's what the website builder is it's section-based. So if you want a featured item section, you just drag that over, add that, all of that. I'm just gonna add here, I have my Instagram section there. Next up, it's going to ask us to upload our logo, important part of your branding, right? If you don't have one right now, you can always upload it later. You can see in place of a logo there, it'll just say Mike's Bikes. It'll have my business name. But I do have a logo, so I've uploaded that. And then it's going to ask us for our color and font scheme. These are going to be the most common, the most popular, the most used. We have other options inside the builder. So, if you don't find your color there, you can adjust that. And we'll actually, if we have time here, we'll go into the live builder to kind of see what that looks like. And so we have here kind of a preview of what our site would look like here, like the text, where everything is. That image isn't mine. It's just there to show us like what it could look like. Click finish, and then we're going to get into the builder here. First thing it's going to prompt me to select is a domain name. I'm going to exit out of that for right now because I'm going to just do that when I'm ready to publish and then start putting our website together. So 3 main areas of the builder here. On the left is your edit panel where you can add, update, and reorder your site sections. All right, that's where most of your creating is done. to the right in the center, we have a preview of what the site looks like, and where you're going to just click into to make direct edits. So that's where that image was before, right? So that's where it's showing with the little image icon in the bottom right-hand corner. Like this is where an image would go, right? So we'll upload an image here shortly. Up in the upper right there, you can publish, you can preview, and all of that. So let's just, and so sections, break it down. It says no, there's no theme, right? You're not like in some builders, you pick a theme and it's kind of pre-designed and you just kind of customize it. This one, there's no theme. It's just section based. And then those sections you can customize to do that. Each section has different layouts within it. So even though, you know, you and I may use the same sections on a website, they're going to look completely different because we have the different layouts. All right, so if we click into this main banner here, right, we can see we have all the different layouts on the left-hand side there, right, where the text is, where the button is, the image is half, the image is, you know, full screen. You know, you can customize that there. I want to add an image here, right? So I can do that. Upload an image. We also have, you know, being that I want to showcase my bikes, obviously I want one of my own images, but you can see free images there, where we have a partnership with a company called Unsplash, which is a you know, royalty-free, high-resolution photos that you can use for like backgrounds and things like that, things that aren't necessarily reflective of your brand that are available in there as well. That's one thing folks struggle with, is getting good quality images to put like on their backgrounds and things like that. I'm going to upload my bike image there, right? So now I've got my bike image there. We saw earlier that text was a little different. So I just typed into the text, and you know, I got Fat Tire Beach Cruisers there. I got my call to action button going on there for the shop now. And then we can see on the left-hand side, you can customize that banner. So we have all the label there, the text. You can turn different pieces on and off, right? You can have two buttons here. It says, you know, secondary button. I could turn that on and I would have another button there. So again, you can turn little pieces on and off here to customize it however you want. So that's the main banner. Every site's going to have a main banner. Next up is my featured items section. So this is where I want to showcase some of my best-selling bikes. And then I'm just going to click choose items from the upper left there. I'm going to pick 3 of my top-selling bikes. You can add more if you want. I mean, I think it just looks good with the 3 there, so it's not too much, right? And again, I can customize this section to be different from that top section. I can change the photo size. I can remove any of those buttons there, the text. You know, it can look much different depending on who's creating it. Next up is my Instagram feed, right? I'm going to connect it, logging in with my Instagram credentials, show off my post in real time. It's going to open up a new window where I authorize that. Once I authorize it, it's going to say, hey, here's all the cool things you can do with that. And then it's going to display my post. And I can show 1 row, I can show 2 rows, I can customize this as well. On this one, this section specifically, I changed it to a black background to kind of break up the all white there. Again, you could use a photo there if you wanted to. Next section here is good for my location because I only have 1 location, right? So it's pretty clear. And here's where my address is, phone number, my operating hours. That's all pulled from my Square account. So, you know, not a whole lot I need to do there. Last up, I added an email subscription section for folks to, you know, to build up my newsletter for future email marketing campaigns. And then underneath that is my footer, right? So I've got my social media icons there. I've got my, you know, my which cards payments I accept for that. All right, so I'm going to scroll back up top and I'm going to click on preview and kind of look to see how it's going there. So here's a preview of what it looks like on our desktop without all the editing stuff there, right? We've got our main banner, the featured products, all the sections there. And then up at the top, I can click on mobile view and I can see, I can, you know, preview my site in mobile. Really important factor there. This is a mobile first website builder. So when we're building the site out, we're always considering mobile first. So nothing you have to do as a seller to make it mobile friendly. We know that's of vital importance for you to have a great mobile site. So nothing extra you have to do. We're already doing that behind the scenes for you. You can actually go into mobile mode and build it like that so you can see it as it goes along. All right, click in the add a preview there. So we built a 1-page site, right? We've got our header, we've got the search icon turned on there. We've got a featured product section, our Instagram section. We could add like an about us section there if we wanted to. It's a real simple 1-page site, but we do have a second page, which is our shop page, right? So that shop now button will go to where all of my items are. And so we're going to look at that right now by clicking up top there. And then we're going to go to that shop all page. And so this page we built out, right? We've got our categories on the left-hand side there. We've got some filters. I mean, anything you really see like on really any kind of, retail type of site, right? Filter by price range, item options, things like that. I could customize this page as well, right? I could change the background color, things like that. I'm going to leave it like that because I don't need to do a whole lot there. All right. And then I'm just going to click publish. So I didn't have a domain earlier, so I picked one here. I picked mikespikes.square.site. If that wasn't available, it would let me know. The other options here, you can register a brand new domain name, one that's not already registered. You could register that through us, or you could connect a domain name you already own. So if you bought a domain name at GoDaddy or Network Solutions or Google, anything like that, right? You already have it, but you don't have it connected to a site. You could connect it to your site here as well. So my site is live. It's ready to roll. Let's look at now what it looks like from my customer's point of view when we're going to make a checkout, right? When they're going to make a purchase here. So they go to my website, pick a bike. I selected this one here, so you can see I've added multiple photos here for this bike. So if you click through those photos, it would show you those different angles. We've got our order here. It's set to pick up. I can change it to shipping if I want. Our description is there. I'm going to click add to cart. And then our cart pops up here. And we can see, being that I'm on Google Chrome, Google Pay became an option there. If I was on Safari or my iPhone, it would show me Apple Pay as an option as well. I can make changes here. I can add coupons. I could change it to, I can request curbside pickup. I could do any of that there. I'm just going to click checkout. And then pretty, simple checkout flow here. We can see I've added my info here. We're picking up in Scottsdale, right? So it's an Arizona purchase. So my subtotal there, my taxes are there, and then I can place an order. If I was shipping, right? Once I put my address in here, it would add a shipping amount there as well. So I'm gonna first thing we ask for is your email address. So if I type that in, being that I've purchased from many Square Online websites, right? I've saved my info in there. So now I just get the text message, right? Put in their code. And then it brings in all my payment information automatically. I can add a note to the seller that they'll see, right? The final step there. Important note, again, so this is a Square service, right? So what's going to work here? Square gift cards would work, Square coupons, Square loyalty would integrate here as well. So if you had a loyalty program through Square, that would all integrate as well. Again, it's all integrated, so everything just kind of works together for that. So I'm going to make a purchase here. All right, so we bought a bike. I can see my ordering page here. It's got a map of where I would pick it up. In the upper right area is the text message I received that, I placed an order. Here's where you pick it up. And then I can click on the link there to see more details there. And this is where, if I had loyalty integrated, it would say, oh, you earned this many points. Or if they were a brand new customer, it would say, hey, would you like to join the loyalty program for that as well? So website's up and running, right? People are placing orders. Where do I manage those, right? So we're going to go over and look at that because you can do that in a couple places. So going back to the online dashboard here, right? We can see all of our orders there. We can manage them. We can cancel them, refund them, mark them as shipped, right? If we mark them as shipped, we can go in there and put in a tracking number, for folks to get that by email, right? Just like any other retailer, you get that email, track it so you can see it's going to be there by a specific date. I can also just go into my main Square account, and then the dashboard there is an order platform, and you'd see orders from all of your different platforms. If you were doing through Uber Eats or DoorDash, you would see orders here, and these are where we see our Square Online orders. Same thing, we can manage them there. For most folks, they're going to be managing them from the point of sale, right, in the store. So like on an iPad or on the Square Register, they can include in the orders tab there. They can see them there as well. So a couple places you can manage those there. Let me go here. Oh, I didn't republish my site. So anybody have any questions on that flow so far? Good. All right, so this is Kenny's Burger Shop. So this is my this is my restaurant example site, right? So we've got a real simple page here, right? We've got some featured menu items, like a little about section here, our Instagram feed, and all of that. And so from here, if we go to order now, we would see our online ordering page. So Amanda, to your point earlier, if I was a restaurant and I already had a website, right, I would not need that other page. I could just delete that page and I would just have this here. And so we can see here, I have pickup and delivery set up for this restaurant. Right? I can go back and forth, and I have 2 locations here. So being that I have 2 locations, they could each have their own menu. So different items could be at each restaurant. So I can pick my restaurant, continue, confirm it, and then we can go in here and we can see I've been on the site before, so I've see my recent orders there, my categories, my burgers, my sides, my beverages, right? We can see all those there and do all that. And then we can place an order. So it's letting me know, order as soon as possible. And we can see here, my prep time is 15 minutes. So letting me know I place an order, it's gonna be ready to pick up in 15 minutes. We also have, what is it here?
Martin, just one question there. So for example, that's my restaurant. So kennysburgers.com is my website, right? And I want to integrate the online order into the store. So I would go into my existing website and then create a subpage within it. That would be, for example, kennysburgers.com/online. And then that's the exact link that I would add to my store so that it links into my website, my existing.
Yeah. So if you already have an existing site, really you wouldn't need to create a new page. You would just create a button, right? Or a tab that says, order here, and it takes them to that page.
Oh, okay. It doesn't need to. Okay, got it. It doesn't need to drag and populate a section of the existing website. Just a button that sends you to the other one. Got it.
Yeah.
That was my question too. So in like WordPress, you could use a widget, like a e-commerce widget.
Yeah. What restaurant was I thinking of here? Sula.
I have a quick question with the payment, sort of like from the beginning. So it's 2.9% of the amount plus 30 cents for transaction, right?
Correct, for online orders, yes.
For online orders. But I saw that one of your options was, besides credit cards, was PayPal. Would like, for example, I know businesses that charge through PayPal and they have also a commission on their PayPal. So would that be on top of the 2.9?
No, you wouldn't get, no. So you can add PayPal as a payment option. So they would go either one, and PayPal would process the payment and you would pay them the 2.9% for that. Okay. Yeah, you wouldn't pay us too. it would only be the one.
One or the other. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So here's an example here. So here's suvla.com, right? They have a really nice restaurant, professionally designed. They use Square in all their restaurants. So they have an order online here, in-store pickup. I probably didn't switch over to the screen here. So then they have their it's just going to their online order page here. Actually, let me do this here.
You're making me really hungry right now, Martin.
Sorry. Okay, so yeah, so here, right? They have their online order, in-store pickup, and then that takes them to their Square Online page, and it's just that, right? It's just their pickup for the locations, right? They also have a button there to go back to their website, and then just their menu. So yeah, a lot of companies will do that. They already had an info type of site up and running. This one here is my barbershop example. So this one here, we're doing booking, right? So you can use Square Appointments for booking online, right? I can showcase my barbers here, some info about them with their booking button. You can see I use the same test Instagram account for everything. A little about us, a little kind of some testimonials here, and all that. And then so that they book now, and then they can book right online for haircuts and things like that. And in this case, I have like a small shop page for them to order like combs and pomade and just pick up in person. And we have gift cards, right? So like I mentioned, online gift cards, those would work for your website and in person as well. And then, so like in this one here, I have reviews, and I have that just linked to Google. So that would be like how you would link it to other pages.
So Martin, is there a startup fee for this, or is it just free? You just set it up and you guys take 2.9% commission?
Yeah, that's it. So it's just the per transaction fee. So the free one's going to come with like this one, TorontoBarbers.square.site. It's going to come with that site address, and it's going to have the square footer down at the bottom there, the powered by Square. If you want to remove that and get your own domain name or connect the domain name, I believe it's $144 for the year. So you can just pay for a year up front, and it would remove all that, and you wouldn't see Square anywhere.
Yeah, which is typical for a URL. So
yeah.
The reason I ask is because Pathos screen printing, so we do business-to-business contracting, so it's really complicated to customize your apparel, order it, ship it, and do all that stuff. However, to have a button set up for a Pathos-specific apparel to where it's kind of like what you displayed, so you can actually shop at an actual and get specifically Pathos apparel. Do you guys have a customization or screen printing customization page, ordering page?
I could probably find a site that we have on there, but yeah, they can get pretty complex, right? So you can do options like, small, medium, large, right? Color, add, printing, and you can charge for that. So you can customize that with variations. I would just have to find an example. See if I can find an example for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's really complicated. Like our online competitor, Custom Ink, right? Custom Ink is killing it. But I mean, it gets really complicated to have all those different options. So I was just curious as to if that's something that, anyway, I mean, regardless, I think
probably not something as complex as Custom Ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a $10,000-$20,000 website.
Yeah.
To show you some other options here. So in your Square account, right, you can go to your items. So we have online here, which is the online store. We also have online checkout. So let's say maybe you're not building a website, or maybe you have a custom item that you want to charge someone for, right? You can just send them a checkout link. So if I go here, I can just send them a link. I can use Square Messages to send them a message. I can create a QR code. I can create a buy button, right? So that would give me some code to then put on the website, like a little widget on your existing website. And then I could also, post it to Facebook or Twitter. You can also do through those links. So let's go to copy the link here. I can either just send that to somebody or text it to them, email it to them, and then, right, that just sends them that page to purchase without needing a whole website. Gotcha. What a lot of folks use this for too is for subscriptions or memberships or classes, right? So you can do that as well here. I don't know if I had one set up here. So I could create a subscription, right? So it'd be like a checkout link. I can name it, right? I can create a plan. Oh, I do have one here, monthly tune-ups. So I've got my bike tune-ups here. So this is so I could send that out, right? And someone could subscribe to this. It's $25 a month. So they would pay, right? They would sign up, they would pay, and it charges them $25 a month automatically for that membership to have their bike tuned up, every month. You can also do that for classes and put in like a Zoom link if it's going to be like via Zoom. So other ways that you can do that. QR codes, right?
Could you have that subscription like already pre-customized and set up as that? You mentioned that there's the possibility of creating the additional button on the site. So would that be a possibility? I'm thinking of a coffee shop that wants to do a coffee subscription that they're gonna send you like £1 a month of like the new one that came in, but they still want to sell everything else on the site. So you want to have the normal button. Could you have the subscription button there, and it would take you directly to that screen?
Yep. Yeah, so like this one in the bike tune-ups here, we could do a buy button and create it, and it gives you the code. You would just embed that on your website, and then we just create a button for them to do that. So they wouldn't have to have a whole other site to build. They would just do the button there. So like for somebody that maybe just has a couple items, right? Maybe you don't need a whole website. You just need create the items and just create the buttons. You can do that. So a lot of ways you can customize it to do that for whatever you need.
And you can if let's say you have like eight bags of Columbia coffee or whatever, can you put that as once it's you only have 8 items left, and once it sells out, you don't keep selling it? Because I can see myself.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can actually inside you can when you set up your items, you can, that's one of the things you can edit is whether it'll show like after how many it'll start showing. I think by default it's at 5. So if I go to your website and you have 5 or less items, if I click on it, it's going to say 4 left, 3 left, 2 left, and then it'll say sold out, and it'll still be on the website, but you won't be able to buy it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it'll count down for them.
Okay.
Cool. So that's where it coordinates with the POS, right? Is if it's out of inventory. Yeah.
Yep. I was trying to find a site that I had Mike's Bikes. I actually reset it because I'll go through and I'll kind of rebuild it every so often. Trying to get it back up and live here. Same thing with like food. You can always turn it on or off for ordering. But the online checkout has been really, really popular with folks. You can even do it like from your phone. So you can download the point of sale app on your phone, and you can just click it, link it, send a text message to someone, and it charges. They can then pay it like that. And so, yeah. So this is like my items that for set up for my point of sale, right? Anytime I add one here, it's just going to add it to my website. I can set that to be default to not available, to not show on my site. Or if I want it, anytime I add a new item here, if I want it to show on my website automatically, I could do that as well. And it would just show on my website and be available to purchase. So you can decide how you want to do that. So I have like t-shirt, like I have a real simple t-shirt item set up here. So t-shirt, right? And then I have my variations, small, medium. I thought I had colors too. Maybe not. Let's see what that looks like. No, not ready yet.
Martin, can you like put breakdowns, like let's say the shirt cost me $3 to purchase, and then and we want to sell these specific shirts, so $10 for every shirt goes towards this fundraiser, and then we keep $8 of that, right? Can you break that down and print out what that breakdown is?
I don't know. I don't think I've done that before. I mean, I can check on that.
And the reason I ask is because we do online fundraising stores, and it's usually event based. So it's like a month we'll be selling for Mariposa Elementary School, and so and then we actually designate for every shirt that's sold, $9.99 goes towards the school, right? And so I can break that down, and we use I don't know, to just kind of throw out a competitor. We use Order My Gear, OMG, which is specifically for fundraising and stuff like that. So I was just curious as if you were to feature this shirt on our Pathos apparel, $10 for every shirt sold will go towards that initiative, right?
Right.
If that's an option.
I mean, on the site, yeah. I mean, the description and all that's the easy part. It's the actual like separating that afterwards. I don't know. I'll have to ask.
Yeah, no worries. I don't mean to. Yeah, I'm
curious. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of for setting up an online store, kind of I mean, because we're not just, we also print for social impact, right? So
yeah, that's good. My initial thought is no, but I can double check to make sure on that for sure.
Great, thanks. No worries.
Cool. Any more questions or anything else you want me to demo? No problem.
This is really great. I mean, it is really pretty much plug and play. There are a lot of options, and it seems like it's very customizable. And the idea that you can have, you know, your own website and then just put buttons or, you know, to this, you know, square piece for the e-commerce is great. I think it would be a real benefit to most all of our businesses. So, and especially those who don't have a website and haven't been really trying to promote their business online. So I think it's really great.
Cool. So this is the mic spikes here. So we can see my featured products, and we can see here it shows low stock. It gives folks, you know, lets them know right off the bat. And so if I go to it, you can see here only 4 remaining. So for that question earlier. And so yeah, as you buy them, it'll just keep counting down here. And you can set that number to when it'll start showing up. Like I said, once it's sold, it'll say sold out. That add to cart button will be grayed out, so they won't be able to purchase anymore. And so you can click, you know, and see the different, you know, you can add as many pictures as you want. You can use GIFs in there, or the 360 photos, the one that spin all the way around. You can add those as well.
So Martin, what's the easiest way for a business to get started, to if they want to, you know, build a website and
just logging into their account and clicking online. It's like I said, it's going to walk them through a whole lot of the steps for that. I mean, right from the dashboard, they're just going to click online, and it'll walk them through the whole process there. We do have live chat support and phone support specifically for e-commerce, so they can always call and get help, or they can live chat with someone for help as well.
Can you send me a link or information that I could blast out to our business owners?
Yeah, what would you want it to be? Like I can customize.
I guess, you know, for more information on Square e-commerce capabilities, go to.
Oh, I can do that.
Blank.
Yeah, I mean, just
I could just say, hey, we had a great training. We're sorry we missed you. For more information, go to blank, and I'll get it out.
Okay, I can do that.
Great.
Cool. And then Gustavo, you and I will be talking about Chicago.
Yes. Thank you, Martin.
Cool. All right, guys.
Great.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
This has been really helpful, and I think it's a great service to all of our businesses. So we really want to, you know, thank Square for your time and
Yes.
the work that you're doing to support our businesses. So thanks so much.
And thank you for coordinating this, Amanda. All right. We appreciate you.
We'll be in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.